Hi, this is Phil Potempa, and welcome to another edition of Notoriety, bringing you all the latest in entertainment news, ticket opportunities, what's to be marked on the calendar, not to be missed, happening in Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland, and beyond. Of course, it's the broadcast equivalent that's more than 9 years now of shows. That is the equivalent of the Post-Tribune print editions here of all the feature stories and columns that I write, captured on East Chicago Tribune Media. And, of course, everything is found at chicagotribune.com. We couldn't be here without our generous underwriters, the folks that make this show possible, our friends at People's Bank, wonderful arts advocates Andy and Sue Arnold, as well as we thank the folks at our Home Away from Home Theater at the Center of Visual and Performing Arts as well. Joined by co-host Tony Panek.
How's it going?
Welcome to you, Tony.
Happy to be here.
And we come to you from our Strachan Van Til studios here in Hammond, Indiana. Some of you are tuned in through a traditional radio dial as you hear this. It could be a radio rebroadcast, perhaps. And if that's the case, we want to earmark that this interview is happening on Tuesday, July the 7th, 2026. Those of you who do have the added advantage of the streaming opportunity through YouTube, or you found us on social media or Facebook, you have the window to the world that are the cameras to show everything happening here. And it looks rather whimsical in the studio here. It's bright, it's cheery, partly because of our wonderful returning guest here, Tony Thomas. Hello. And also we have Jill Thomas. They are the folks that are behind the latest production over at our friends at Holdcraft Players, just to the east in Michigan City. They have a show that I have not even ever heard of before. I've heard of Susical. This takes it up a notch. So I'm going to let one of you first start by introducing the show title and what the run dates are.
It is called The Susification of Romeo and Juliet. It is written by Peter Blodell. Our show dates are July 10th, 11th, 17th, and 18th, and those are at 7 p.m. July 12th and 19th at 2 p.m. Those are Sundays.
And most of all, directed by what tag team I see on the poster there? The
Jill
dynamic
and Tony
duo.
Thomas.
That's right. A married couple that works well as shares their vows on stage. So this is Holdcraft Players. If you're not familiar with it, it's a venue we've talked about a number of times before, as these are returning guests. It's right at Michigan City, based in the old auditorium in the old high school that once was
Elston High School.
Nice and loud, that microphone.
Elston High School.
Elston High School. So
yes.
Now there's a performing arts player there, our centered base there with our Holdcraft Players, and really the word youth is in there. So tell us again, Holdcraft, but then I see Young People's Theater Company. They are sister operations. They are both non-for-profits. They're completely independent. Who wants to explain that alphabet soup?
Young People's Theater is the blanket, and Holdcraft Players are underneath the blanket.
And that's the address and the facility,
At the
correct?
Holdcraft Performing Arts Center.
Gotcha.
And that houses Young People's Theater, and then the adult version is would be Holdcraft Players.
Okay.
Well, I know we see the dates on the screen. Thank you for that, Adriana, right there. But, this title is interesting because you got Seuss, who that language is kind of hard to master. And Romeo and Juliet, of course, that play words that are hard to master. And you're putting these two things together, it seems. Explain that there.
Yeah, for a marketing part, that part is good. Seuss, Dr. Seuss, we
Yes.
know. Romeo and Juliet, put them together. Although I mentioned it's a title I wasn't familiar with.
Jill read the script. We were looking for a show for our youth program, and we wanted to do, normally we do musicals, but we don't have a music director at this point, so we said, well, let's do a regular play. And Jill read the script and laughed. And we had a wonderful Zoom meeting with Peter Blodell, and he explained that Romeo and Juliet is hard enough already.
Yeah.
But if you put it to the Dr. Seuss way of speaking, it becomes fun.
Yeah.
And he changed a few words, but the story is exactly the same, but it's all in that Seussical rhythm.
Wow.
And
Where is he based at? I'm curious. What
Northern
state?
Mankato, Minnesota.
So you were able to hop on, chat with him, get some guidance from the man who created this prose and licensed this piece. And you say his clever way around it was to make it Seuss-inspired, so to speak.
Correct.
But yes or no, don't look for Cat in the Hat and for the elephant and look for those characters, or no, just look for that rhyming, that prose as the way the story is told.
Correct, and it's very much a comedy.
Oh, very good. Okay.
Seussified.
It's
yeah.
throughout the story. We're not part of Seuss. We're not a Seuss story. We're not. It's repeated, and it's not licensed or endorsed by the Dr. Seuss company, but it is Seussified for sure.
Yeah,
And
just enough to give a nod as in a tribute.
Correct.
Our producer Adriana's got some wonderful production photos, and when you look at some of those great set pieces, they do give the impression of flipping through one of those famed storybooks for that design, that feel. Those are pieces that you had to send out for, or no, you just
No.
recreated those pieces.
Arturo Pozos designed the set, and some of the flats back there and the colorful pieces. Discovery Charter School did Seussical in March at Holdcraft Performing Arts Center, and we borrowed them, and we worked very well with them, and they let us keep them, and we said let's incorporate them, and we did.
Yeah, why recreate the wheel? That's again, it's so bright and inviting, and this is something that's fun for our viewers and our listeners. And when we meet each week and we have our conversation around the table about arts, entertainment, staging, licensing, all these types of things, give us a little behind the scenes. Of course, you got to visit with the playwright, but in your hand, that script, there's always that first page that it tries to direct or at least guide you to say, hey, everyone is going to be different when you produce this. Every director might have their own mind. But basically, for a set, what you're looking for is you should have this, or this, or was there none of that? It was just you need to think of what this should look like based on your own person.
Well, we had kind of a struggle getting kids to audition for this. They usually like to do their musicals and well-known musicals. And here's a show that not many people have heard before. So we reached out to local theaters, and Holly Welsh from LaPorte Little Theater and from Kessling Middle School sent 6 kids to us, and it made it so much easier. And then we had some wonderful students who have worked before with us, and they came, and everything fell into place. All the roles, all the kids went right to where they needed to be, and we've had lots and lots of fun.
I'm going to try to re-ask this question again. So in the script, though, does it say, well, at least you should have some familiar pieces? There needs to be a balcony, or no, it's a completely open-ended, you design and figure out whatever you want? Does it list give you any guidance in your script or how did you come up with, let's put a balcony, we'll use these other pieces from Seussical? How did that all come together?
It doesn't really list that we have to have certain things, but, you do need a balcony because it mentions a balcony in the script.
Uh-huh.
So
Good. So that was one of the go-tos that you needed to do.
Did you find at any point in time, again, an amazing set as well, Seussified for sure, but when the kids are rehearsing or not, it's kind of, Seuss could be kind of tough, right? Speaking that language.
He wants to know if they're off book, even though it opens this weekend. Are they off book?
They were
yet?
off
Yeah.
book last week.
Okay, wow.
And with the rhyming, with the tetrometer that they had,
yeah,
phenomenal.
They
were
took to it
jumped
right away.
in, yes.
Wow.
And we have probably half our kids have done 2-3 shows previously, and then the other half have never been on stage before.
First timers.
First time, and
Wow.
they jumped right at it and are having a great time.
That's great.
Very good.
hopefully they'll keep coming back.
Yeah.
That's right, because we've got a couple weekends here, performances in your opportunity. Matter of fact, we get that poster up for our producer, and I'm going to let Tony be the Vanna White. Give us
Yeah.
the rundown. We're having fun with husband and wife directing team Tony and Jill Thomas because what's about to open?
I'm going to do my best, Luke Miller here. Young People's Theater Company Incorporated presents the Seussification of Romeo and Juliet, directed by Tony J. and Jill Thomas, of course, by Peter Blodell. Blodell, yeah. And the dates are for that July 10th, 11th, 17th, and 18th at 7 p.m., and July 12th and 19th at 2 p.m. I'll let you guys give there's a QR code if you're watching on the YouTube. You could just scan your phone on
this
that
is
QR
like an eye
code.
chart. Are you able to read that address?
Oh
the
man,
theater?
that's a little
We're
tough
sending
right
to
there.
The optometrist after this performance. Holdcraft Performing Arts Center. It's in the Old Michigan City Elston High School auditorium. It's super easy to get to right out, whether you call it Highway 421 or Franklin. Very easy to get to. I know we're talking Dr. Seuss here, but is it something that the whole family is going to enjoy? It doesn't just have to be drop off the kids or an afternoon for kids. That families are going to get a kick out of this too, because we all grew up with Dr. Seuss.
It's very family friendly, fun for the whole family, really.
Very good, good. And tickets are always so affordable. What are you doing for a ticket price?
$15 for adults, $10 for students.
All right, and here we go about that website, the infamous website. Speaking of alphabet soup, I think Jill thinks she's got it. Let's try it.
www.yptcin as in Nancy c.com. So it's yptcinc.com.
And it is .com, not .org, right?
Correct.
All right.
You encourage that, or can people buy it at the door as well?
You
Or
can buy at the door, absolutely.
Yeah, there is generous seating there at Holdcraft. That's one thing that you are. But again, to allow them to help plan your weekend in advance, get them in advance, and then they know their head count of who's going to be there. It always helps. But correct, I know I sort of always pound the drum when it comes to folks like 4th Street Theater, Footlight, Players, those 80-seat performance spaces, even our friends at Toll Theater, they can fill up pretty quick, when you're about 100 seats. This one has got some generous seating, but get your tickets in advance, and then that way you've got it. You can plan around. We've got a couple weekends here, July the 10th, so we have our opening, goes all the way until the 19th. So you've got some time here. And again, it's a cast of how many people, how many young bodies?
We have 14.
14. And remind us the last time the two of you collaborated and you both directed something. Was it Gilligan's Island, the musical?
So that was our world premiere of Lost and Then Found in the Middle of Nowhere. Nowhere.
The gnomes, right?
Yes,
when
the
our
gnomes,
studio was
correct.
filled with gnomes. That's
Yes.
right. Was that also your first time collaborating? Or no, you've done lots of things together. All right. So,
Phil, you mentioned. I mean, you guys are so clever when it comes to bringing these certain shows. I mean, Gilligan's Island, that one you just mentioned, Seuss meets Hamlet. When you're deciding the process, you just think, what's something that's kind of offbeat that would be fun.
We go with the smart person.
How do you go by that? Like, do you have stuff in your head like this would be fun to do?
Committee as well, so you're looking through, and there's several people, and you have to pitch or no. Pretty much, you're bringing that production to that space, and they say, "Yeah, we got a slot. We'll let you do it."
Well, kind of a lot of that. We don't exactly have a play reading committee. Our board. I'm vice president of the board.
Oh,
and
okay.
So we all read the scripts that we get presented to us, and sometimes we look for scripts. And I love reading scripts, and I love trying to see, would this work in our theater? Would we be able to find the people to do this, and if it seems like it would be a great show to me, then I'm like, somebody's got to do this.
Usually know within the first few pages where you think it's going to be a thing? Or
Usually,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
And it's tough. I mean, we know not so much in reading scripts, but more looking at booking stage spaces and things. But for you folks, you want something that is going to be marketable. So as we mentioned, okay, Sue's in there. That's half the selling. People already know. Right. You don't have a huge advertising budget. You're not going to take out billboards on 8094 to say, here's why you need to come and see this, because this is a show all about. You're going to get some advertisement like this and some media plugs. But then also you don't want to do the same thing that everybody else is doing, because then that compromises ticket sales. Mm-hmm. So you want to do new, but yet if people don't know what new is, and here's why you got to come out and see it. Yes, word of mouth does work, and social media will work, but my hat's off to you and the rest of the folks, because you do take chances. The one that was about the hidden lost world of Gnomeville, that was a very clever one. It had not really been done in a lot of places, right?
World premiere.
Yes. So
it hadn't been done at all.
At all.
Yeah.
So for you folks to go out and, I don't know how much we followed up, but I felt like it did fairly well given what your expectations were, right? And the playwright was happy too?
Oh, she came the second Friday and loved it. And she's already told us she's stealing quite a bit of it and going to use it in the rewrite of the play.
Really?
And that was the beautiful part of it, was she brought a new script with all of our names on the front cover, because forever and ever,
that's right,
we will be.
This is where it premiered of that.
Yes.
Is a part of that licensing and that history. And that playwright, remind me, also was someplace far away. Where
Lisa Rawson. Yeah, she's from Erie, Pennsylvania.
That's what I thought. So I knew she wasn't just down the road or so. Okay. So this, I think it's going to do well. It's a nice kind of a summer show. It worked well that, as you mentioned, they had already done some form of Seussical
Correct.
in the area. I don't know, were you able to piggyback on and say back then, hey, we also have this coming, can we put a flyer in your, or at least a note somewhere?
Fortunately, we had already chosen this
You
play,
had,
and
so
that's
it
when
was out there.
Yeah, we talked to them.
Yeah, that helps an awful lot. Online for your ticket agency, do you use an Eventbrite or some ticket agency? Or no?
I don't
it's
remember
all-
the name, but yes,
There is. It does
yes.
send you somewhere where everything
Correct.
is processed, and
And you get your
you're all good to
insurance
go.
if you need to change and all of that.
Okay.
But Ludus, yeah, that's it.
Ludus.
Ludus.
We use Ludus.
And with a couple more of those production photos, if they'll float them across there. One thing that's a nice advantage from what I'm looking at here is this a show that's intended, or is it completely open-ended, that you can have the cast just be in fun contemporary clothes, or no, it's asking you to have them costumed in certain things? Because sometimes you can save a bit of money if it just happens to be just, hey, do some everyday fun street clothes.
No, he is a great author, and he said just have fun.
Just tie-dye.
Tie-dye, that's
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
There you go.
Tie-dye.
We had a tie-dye day, and the kids came in and we painted, and we really had a great day of bonding, and they become a really good team, and they're so much fun.
Well, you
And-
mentioned it too, Phil. A fun summer show. You know, it's after the 4th of July now. People are saying it's going to fly. Fall will be here sooner than you know. Why not go out there, see a fun musical or a fun show?
Yes.
And this is the perfect summer fun show.
And it's our air conditioning is working beautifully. by
Unlike
the way.
here. Yes.
We have air moving. It's just it's
moving.
It's warmer air that's moving. Well, you mentioned earlier on in our interview, and if you're just tuning in, you're hearing these voices. They're familiar because it's our directing married tag team of Jill and Tony Thomas, our friends from Holdcraft players, and also the youth playing organization that is right to the east of us, Michigan City based. They've got their opening coming up this weekend. When I say this weekend, again, I'm going to tag that. This interview is happening on July the 7th. So July the 7th is when we're capturing it. So July the 10th, and it goes all the way until the 19th. You've got a few weekends to get out there. First, you were worried. You weren't seeing the bodies that you thought you would for the casting process. All of a sudden, with some nudging, you did get a group. Your final group, are they from all over Northwest Indiana? Or nope, the whole bunch is all from LaPorte?
No, we have most from LaPorte. We have a few from Michigan City. We have Chesterton, Trail Creek,
Oh, that's nice.
Hudson Lake near South Bend. We even have a young lady who drives all the way up from Hamlet, which is in...
Sure, that's
you
by our
know,
farm. That's
yes.
down yonder, Stark County.
So an hour to practice,
Yeah.
rehearsal, a power back. And her mom has been really dedicated to making sure that she gets to every rehearsal.
And is that also part of the secret sauce blend? You as longtime directors, collaborators, yes, it's nice to work with the same ensemble that you've worked with. They know the drill. They all get along, instant chemistry. Or part of the secret is it's great to keep adding new talent because that talent challenges the other talent. People meet, they network, and that's where kind of the sizzle happens.
Well, we have to keep bringing in new blood for the theater. Otherwise, everybody's
Yeah.
going to age out.
That's
and
right.
So we really like to have new people come in, and it's just great. And we don't have a set cast of actors. We
Oh, right.
we usually do auditions and see what we get. You know.
Once in a while, there is another generation of Tony Thomas that's a guest on here. Is he involved at all in this production? And
Michael-
nudging, saying, carry this lumber, help build this balcony?
He has been working with the Dunes this summer.
is he?
So,
Okay.
yeah, he's running sound for them. So he's
Oh,
been busy
great.
with them. But our daughter Veronica is doing makeup with us.
This is good. It's
Yes.
nice. Tony has been after me and after me. He's been so eager. He says, I want to ask what they're going to be doing next, what these two are doing next. And I said, well, just look at... No, I want to be surprised. Go ahead and ask the question.
What's coming next on the horizon? Any?
For us,
Yes.
vacation.
Oh, there we go.
Aha. A little step
Take a
away.
little break.
But for the theater, we're going to do a stage reading of the Laramie Project,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's in August. And then in October, we're doing what?
An evening with Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh,
And that's
That's
perfect.
going to do very well.
We're using all of our resources with that. We have a band room that we've turned into a small black box theater,
Mhm.
and then we have a choir room, which is a little bit smaller, but we're turning that into a black box. And then you go for 3 of the acts in this theater, 3 in this, and then at intermission, the audience switches.
Nice.
Is that on sale yet?
Not yet. No, that'll
All right.
be probably in September.
That's
but
going to be a
auditions
hot
are,
ticket. That's going to do well
Yes,
for you.
auditions
And Edgar
are
Allan
coming
Poe
soon.
will not be Seussified. We should just say that right here. Okay.
No.
Not yet.
It is 6 vignettes, so like the first 3, you'll have 3 in one room and then the 3 in the other room. So
That's nice.
If
It'll be a
memory
lot of fun.
serves me correct, Tony, wasn't it you years back? It was at the other studio. Did you not bring in a giant black raven one time
Yes.
for some reason for some show?
That was
What was that with?
Go ahead.
Nevermore.
Edgar Allan Poe,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Make
this
an
thing was
appearance
huge.
again.
It was a huge raven. So, yeah, dust that guy off and get him out to help promote. And
certainly.
please come back anytime when you've got things going. Tell your neighbors, your friends, other folks, because I know that space does produce other pieces as well. Let them know that we are your open arena to help get the word out.
We appreciate
And
everything you
have
do.
a safe summer vacation, and we want you back in time for Edgar Allan Poe. Thank you to Tony Panek co-hosting today.
Yeah, I think after the show, I got to stand up and say the Pledge of Allegiance right here.
That's right.
behind us. Thank you.
And thank you also to our producer, Adriana Alvarez. She always makes everything so smooth and easy as well. And I'm your host, Phil Potempa for Of Notoriety. Again, no matter when you're hearing or catching this broadcast or scrolling through, we hope you enjoy wherever your path might take you, be it morning, afternoon, or evening.